Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Garrett before here bringing you another Minecraft Cold War Path to Build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Soviet destroyer, Neulovimy, part of the Kildin-Class of destroyers. The Kildin-Class destroyer was a series of destroyers built for the Soviet Navy in the 1950s. They were a missile-armed version of the Kotlin-class destroyer, and the class was named for Kildin Island. 4 ships were built around the KSSHCH anti-ship missile. When this missile became obsolete in the 1960s, 3 ships were modernized in 1972 through 1977. All ships were decommissioned in the late 1980s, early 1990s. The Soviet designation was Project 56EM for the prototype, Project 56M for 3 series ships, and Project 56U for the modernized ships. Overall, they were a pretty interesting little class of ships and destroyers, and are going to make an awesome addition to any of your early Cold War scenarios, even into the late Cold War in the 1980s and 90s, in which they served all the way up to. So it should be a pretty cool little addition to your worlds, and especially just continuing to ever grow our BAF to build fleet of our Soviet and Russian naval forces. With that though, let's go ahead and dive in here and take a look at the ship and see exactly where we go ahead and building. So to start off with, we have basically the bow of the ship here has some of your guns and missile systems and all that stuff located on it. We have the conning tower here, which has all the different antenna and fire control systems, all that kind of stuff. In typical Soviet fashion, a lot of different radars and all that kind of stuff just thrown up here. It's pretty crazy how much they crammed on here. We have some more guns located in this section here. Again, some more fire control systems and sensors, and then we have the back of the ship here, which has the missile launcher. So overall, a pretty cool little ship here. Again, pretty small, just a simple destroyer, but again, these destroyers, you combine them with some bigger capital ships that we have already done for the Soviet Navy, and you get yourself a pretty cool little fleet. So with that, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial for the Neulovimy. Alright guys, so going ahead and move into our first layer. We'll be going ahead and start off with layer 1. Now, this tutorial is going to be structured in a layer by layer format. So what that means, I'm going to be going ahead and starting with our first layer, and then basically building each layer above it on top of one another. So that is the plan going forward, and that's what you guys can expect for this tutorial. But anyways, to go ahead and get started with here, we have our blue concrete representing that water level. So if you do want to build this ship in the water, you will want to make sure that you position this obviously correctly. So the blue concrete here is at water level, and the red concrete is going to be the start of our first layer. So we have the red concrete block. We're going to place down a red nether brick upside stair going forward from it. We're going to go back from the nether brick stair with a red concrete block, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 red concrete blocks. So 18 red concrete blocks back from that nether brick stair. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 red nether brick top slabs, then a red nether brick wall, and a red stained glass pane. We're going to go and go to the sides of the second and third blocks from back. We're going to place down 2 red stained glass panes to both sides here, and we're going to go ahead and go forward with 2 lightning rods like this toward the back, and then a birchwood slab to both sides there for your props. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then take our red nether brick walls. We're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 along the side here. And same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, 3 red stained glass panes, 1, 2, 3. And then we can delete those blocks there, and that's going to wrap up everything we have for layer 1. So a really simple layer. Here's what it looks like from the top down view. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down a stone block on top of this stair here, and then a stone upside down stair going forward of it. We're going to place down a second stone stair back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 of these stripped acacia wood blocks back. We're going to go then place down 1, 2, 3 stone blocks and a stone upside down stair here on the back. On both sides of this upside down stair, we're going to place down a skeleton skull, and then 1, 2, 3 glass panes forward, 1, 2, 3. And then taking our andesite walls, we're going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 andesite walls. Same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to place down a direct wall to both sides, and then 1, 2 andesite walls, 1, 2. And then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 light gray stainless panes, and 1, 2, 3 light gray stained glass panes. And once you have that all done right there, that's going to wrap up everything for layer 2. Here again is a top-down view of what that should look like. And with that, we'll be going ahead and jumping into our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we move it into layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down 2 pistons, one on top of this stair and one on top of the stone block. If you were not on Java, I would recommend instead of the pistons to go ahead and place down probably a stone stair like this, and then a acacia wood slab right behind it. But if you are on Java, we're going to be going ahead and using pistons here in this situation. We're going to place down a stone upside down stair coming off this piston going forward for the bow of the ship, skeleton skulls on the sides of these pistons, and then a skeleton skull at a slight angle on top of this wall, and then a skeleton skull dead on right here with these glass panes like that. We're going to go ahead and place down a grindstone and then an acacia wood slab back, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stone blocks back from that. We then want to place down acacia wood pressure plates. So we have 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then we're going to place down 2 light gray stained glass panes going back from those pressure plates. After that is all done, we're going to go ahead and place down a white bed that goes back from those glass panes, as well as a acacia wood pressure plate to both sides. And then we're going to place down a light gray bed that goes back from that. Once we have that done, we're going to skip a space, place down a stone block like this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stone blocks. We're going to go ahead and also place down a iron trapdoor on the sides of this stone block here, as well as a stone upside down stair coming off both sides here of these iron trapdoors. After that's all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down 1 and 2 acacia wood pressure plates to the sides, and then we're going to place down 2 glass panes that go back on the sides here, and then a stone stair, and then another glass pane to the sides of the stone stair. Then we're going to place down a anvil like this, which is going to be followed with a polished deep slate top slab, and then we're going to go and place down a redstone repeater, separate the notches from each other like so, and then we're just going to go and place down a end rod and then an iron bar that goes up from it like that for the back of the ship here. So that right there is going to basically be what we have set up here for that. And going back up to the front here for my Java players, we're going to go ahead and take our debug stick. So we'll type the command /give at p Minecraft :debug_stick. So this command here, press enter, will give you this glowing stick. What we can do here is we can go to the pistons, left click till we get selected extended false, and then right click these, set these to true to get rid of that wood portion. And once you have that done, that's going to complete that there on the front. And then also for my Java players, just kind of a little like simple detail to kind of just keep more of the consistency for the deck color is I like to place down item frames underneath this slab here and an orange stained glass plane in it. And again, that's going to only be able to be done on Java. So just kind of a nice way to keep more of the orange color visible on the deck. Anyways though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 3. With that, let's move on to layer number 4. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to place down an iron bar on top of this stair, and we're going to go and then place down a daylight detector on top of the stone block and turn it to night mode, place a darker fence gate coming off of it, and open it up toward the back. We're going to place down another fence gate here, open that up toward the rear of the ship, as well as a stone cutter that's going to go right here in this position like so. Underneath this fence gate, if you're on Java, we can also place down an item frame and an orange stained glass pane in the item frame like that. We're going to go ahead and then place down a andesite wall like this, and then one stone block right behind it. We're also going to place down a light gray stained glass pane on the sides here of this stone block, so just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and also place down a skeleton skull on the sides of this andesite wall. After that's all done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a cobweb that goes back like so, and then another stone block, and then a acacia wood pressure plate right here. We're going to place down another cobweb that's going to go in this section here, and then a stone brick wall, followed by a stone cutter to both sides like this, and a dark oak wood fence gate that's going to come off the stone cutters and open up toward it. So like that to both sides there. After that is all done, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished black stone stair that's going to sit here, and then a skeleton skull coming off the back of the stair. If you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and place down a block here to both sides of this polished black stone stair like that, and we're going to go ahead and place down a tripwire hook here on the insides of these blocks. We're going to go ahead and then take our debug stick, left click these tripwire hooks till we get selected face. We're going to go ahead and right click this till we get it to set on the sides of the stair. So it'll be done like that on both sides. If you're non-Java, I'd recommend probably just placing down a wither skeleton skull on the sides of this stair to both sides. After that's done, also underneath this skeleton skull, we can place down our item frame, and we can go ahead and also place down an orange stained glass pane in that item frame. And also we're going to place down a acacia wood pressure plate on top of these iron trapdoors here as well. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a 2 stone brick slabs going down the center here, and then daylight or skeleton skulls on the glass panes to the sides like that. Once that's done, on top of our missile launcher here on the back, we're going to place down a daylight detector, turn that to night mode, and then an iron trapdoor that goes back from like that to go ahead and create the launcher. After that's all done though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 4 of the build, and with that we'll be going ahead and moving into layer 5. Here again is a quick top-down view of what it should look like so far. And again, with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a skeleton skull that's going to go on top of this wall here on the front. And then to the sides of the skeleton skull, we're going to go and grab some iron bars, and we're just going to go and go up with 3 iron bars on top of these forward skeleton skulls. So like that. Then we want to place down a grindstone that is going to sit in this space here, and then a skeleton skull on top of the glass panes to the sides of that grindstone. We're going to place down another cobweb that goes up here, and then we're going to place down another polished black stone stair. Again, we're going to use the same technique that we did for the rear funnel. So this could be the tripwire hook technique, or it could be the wither skeleton skull, whichever you prefer. And again, we're going to rotate these around and come off the sides of the stair. After that's all done, we then want to place down a birchwood fence gate on top of this cobweb, open it up toward the front, and then a birchwood sign coming off the fence gate like so. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down a grindstone that's going to go on top of this wall here. And then taking our iron bars, we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 iron bars up from the skeleton skull. And then we're going to place down 2 iron bars up from these tripwire hooks. So they will go up just like that. And after that's all done there, that's going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 5 of the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our final layers, which will be layers 6 through 10. Moving into our last final layers, we have layers 6 through 10. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate that's going to go on top of this cobweb here, and we're going to open that up toward the front. We're going to go then place down a skeleton skull coming off this fence gate facing forward, and then a dark oak wood sign coming off the fence gate here on the back. We're going to place down a second fence gate that goes up, again open that up toward the front, and a dark oak wood sign on the side of the fence gate as well. And then we want to go ahead and place down iron bars that go up from these tripwire hooks here on the back. They go up by 2. And then also we're going to place down chains that go up by 2 on top of these skeleton skulls right here. So just like that. Then if you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and place down a block that goes 1 block forward from the fence gate here. We'll place a tripwire hook on the side of that block and rotate it around to connect up to that fence gate. Unfortunately, there isn't any good alternative for you if you're not on Java. You can maybe try placing down a flower pot or something, but this tripwire hook here is the best representation right there. We're going to go then place down a polished blackstone upside down stair on top of this fence gate, and then we're going to go and place down a lever on the back of it. Going up from the lever, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 end rods, so just like this. Then we're going to go ahead and grab a stone brick wall and an iron trapdoor. We're going to place down a stone brick wall here and an iron trapdoor. We'll use our debug stick on Java by left clicking the tripwire or the trapdoor until we get selected open. Go ahead and right click this to true, and it should sit like this. And we can also go ahead and take our stone brick wall and break it and replace it, and it'll get that connection to that iron trapdoor. You can also use dark oak wood trapdoors, birchwood trapdoors, oak wood trapdoors as an alternative. Probably birchwood would be probably the best, but again, it's kind of up to you guys on what you want to do for that. Then after that's done, again, kind of depends on your version. If you're not on Java, I'd probably recommend placing down some skeleton skulls like this on top and bottom here of this iron trapdoor. However, if you are on Java, we are going to be going ahead and grabbing ourselves some, again, just some miscellaneous blocks that you can go ahead and delete later. But we're going to go ahead and place down a block that kind of goes up from the trapdoor and forward 1, and same thing below here. We're going to go ahead and go basically down and forward 1 like that. We're going to place down a lever on the side of these 2 blocks, and we're going to go and left click these till we get selected face. This top one here, we're going to go and set to the floor, and the bottom one we're going to go and set to the ceiling. Now, these levers should face forward in the right direction, but if you need to, you can also left click them selected facing, and you can rotate these around as needed to go ahead and get them so that they face forward. But that is what you want there for that. Now for the back mass, pretty simple stuff here. We're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate on top of this birchwood one, and open it up toward the rear of the ship. We're going to go and then place down a polished blackstone upside down stair on top of this fence gate here, and we're going to go and then place down a wither skeleton skull coming off the stair going back. Once that's done, we're going to go and then place down a dark oak wood sign to both sides of this stair, and then we want to place down a row of 3 of iron bars on top of the stair like that. And then just an end rod that comes off that iron bar going backwards. After that's all done, we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves some barrier blocks. Now for my Java players, barrier blocks can be obtained by typing the command /give at p Minecraft barrier. So this command right here, and pressing enter will give you a barrier block. They're also known as structure blocks on Bedrock. So if you are on Bedrock, you can look up your ways to get structure blocks, but you're going to be using structure blocks for the same technique here. We're just going to place down 2 of these blocks right here. And on the first block, we're going to place down a button to both sides. And the second block, we're going to place down a button on top. So really straightforward and easy stuff for that one. But that right there is going to wrap up layers 6 through 10. And with that, that's going to complete my tutorial here for the Kildin-Class Soviet destroyer. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this design, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This can be a thing from a side of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gary2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.